time to get to the part of the show where I invite people on to join me to chat with. And I'll have some friends coming on to talk local music, about making a living at it, just all music. So, who else would I have as my very first guest, but the most important person in my life, my husband? We can talk about music and guitars and bands, but not only is he also an excellent guitarist, great husband, but he fixes a lot of things. So he really took some time out today to be here. So thanks for joining us, Larry.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me as your first guest on this program.
Did you have a hard time finding your way over here?
I could walk here.
Okay.
That's how close we live. So.
Now, did you fix that thing we were talking about earlier? You know, it's still making a little bit of noise. So.
Yes, I got that under control.
Excellent.
And I was able to cut the lawn before it rained just now. So.
See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's amazing. So.
I'm probably the only guy on the block that cuts his own lawn, but.
Probably.
It's good exercise.
In this neighborhood, yes. So anyway, well, let's get started.
Okay.
And maybe you could tell everybody about yourself in your own words about playing guitar.
Well, I'm,
like that.
presently, semi-retired, and it's good to keep active in playing music. And I think that, the fact that we have this outlet to play as a duo or in Florida for 4 months or with the band, again, it keeps you moving. So
that's right. We do have the Kat Orlando duo featuring Larry Pinho and the Kat Orlando band, and he's my guitarist. But at one point in time, I was in his band, and that was called Hidden Agenda. And so he hired me back then, and later on, I hired him in my band. So it all
we were just friends and
works out.
Never thought we'd get married, but here we are, 18 years later.
That's 18, and we'll be celebrating 18 years next week. So,
that's right. So
everybody, mark your calendars on it. Maybe you could tell. Why don't you tell everybody? I have my story about how we met. Maybe you could tell everybody, in your words, how we met.
Well, obviously through music, and we were playing at my band, Hidden Agenda Band. We were playing up at Hoops in Auburn Hills, and my bass player, G.C. Washington, said, "Hey, man, I heard this lady sax player." And I said, "Oh, okay. I'll have her come up and sit in for a set." And I said, "Well, and we'll give her some money for showing up." I said, "Oh, we don't have a big budget here, but okay." So needless to say, the whole band was very impressed. And, she walks in with an alto, tenor, soprano, flute, harmonica, and kitchen sink. And we were all taken by it, and slowly she became full-time. She took a little time off to go to CCS and get her degree in graphic art design, and so that's the
And here
story.
we are today.
Yeah, right.
And Hidden Agenda did have a great time period playing at places like Pi and the Andiamos and Motor City Casino.
Oh, MGM Casino, Great Town
run.
Casino. We played a lot of festivals. We played up a lot in Traverse City area and Leelanau County. Here Comes the Sun Party every year at the Cove for 11 years. And good band.
Great memories with that band. We'll be talking more about them as the shows progress, and maybe have some of those guys on to join us here for one of the shows, and a little reunion or something like that. So could happen. Well, let's see.
Getting back to the script.
Getting back to what we were going to talk about too. Where are you from? I mean, long before I met you.
Born and raised in Dearborn, Michigan. My first memories of music was in second grade. I started on piano, and then I told my mom, I said, "I'm not feeling it," So then I went to alto sax in fifth grade, and said, "Mom, I'm not feeling it." Well, in the background, my uncle, her brother, Uncle Russ, he had a 1935 L10 guitar, Gibson L10, in the closet. She said, "Don't play that guitar. he's just storing it here. So when my parents would go out, I would sneak the guitar out, and I learned chords. And I think the biggest influence was my mother, who was listening to people like Wes Montgomery and George Benson and Chet Baker and, and she used to hang out at Baker's Keyboard Lounge. And in fact, I have Wes Montgomery's autograph when she went to see the Montgomery brothers play there. Mm-hmm. That was, beginning of playing guitar. And by junior high and high school, I was playing a lot of the, we had a band called the Stream of Consciousness.
Which, that's right.
Which kind of tells you that we were doing acid rock but we were doing Motown too. And, but my parents were not going to let me go to Berkeley, support me to go to school to study music. They said, do your second love, which was automotive or engineering. And it was pretty good advice. And because I was able to play music on the side when I went to school at Northwestern in Traverse City and at Ferris State. I played in both the big bands at Ferris State and Northwestern. Played almost every weekend when I was going to Ferris in Big Rapids and Baldwin. And you still get together with the alumni band, the Dinosaurs, Ferris? Yeah, Ferris State University. Dinosaurs, the big band. Great band. Every 2 years they have an alumni concert. And if we're not in Florida, I try to make it. So that's it in a nutshell. And you're very much more versed in jazz than I am. I'm more of an R&B person, but from those days of playing in Hidden Agenda, you guys kind of put me in that direction of playing more Kim Waters and Art Porter, and who else we do? Marion Meadows and David Sanborn and Dave Koss. Candy Dolfer, Mindy Abair. Excuse me. And so you really pushed me playing-wise. Yeah. And so with the duo now, we still incorporate some of the smooth jazz for some of the places that we play, and then we break into the rock and R&B stuff for and even disco, and even disco to get in party mode. So what's the best thing What's the best thing about being a musician? As I get older, I really look forward to playing, especially when we learn new material. When we're in Florida, I have more time to practice, and we've gotten smarter, I think, as far as incorporating more of guitar and sax and flute and harmonica within the same song. Case in point, maybe like, Ian Anderson, Jethro Tull stuff, or some Long Train Running, very good prominent guitar part as well as a harmonica in there, and so people get a kick out of that. And besides just playing the music, it's about entertaining people. And because we're married, we can throw in the humor with the back and forth in between songs. A la Sonny and Cher, Well, I'd have to grow a mustache for that, but. But the same little digs that we'll throw in there, good-natured, Yeah, it's fun. Or we'll excuse us while we figure out what next song we're going to do, things like that. And people start cracking up, hopefully, anyway. I think they get a kick out of it. But so in all the years that you've been doing this, I've been doing this, to you, what's the most surprising comment you ever gotten from somebody in the audience? Well, I think at the end of the night, I remember recently a couple things. Actually, one was we were playing at Hamlin Pub out in Clarkston, and we're packing up, and Cat pulled a note out of the tip jar that said, hi, we came in here for dinner, and we were going to take off, but we started listening to you guys, and we decided to stay. Right. So that was nice. Those are nice. Those are nice comments. And then a month before that, same place, we were playing, and I was going to I ran into a couple that my band played their wedding 8 years ago. And they said, is your name Larry? And is that Kat? Yeah. And So, memory lane. And anyway, so at the end of they took off. We said bye, and Kat and I had dinner before we set up early, relaxed. We had dinner, and I was going to pay the check at the end of the night, and these folks picked up the check. So
That's
just
right.
little things like that.
Yeah, things like that. Unexpected.
I don't want to be gloating here, so I
gloat away.
No.
We also had one the other night, didn't we, where we found one of the cards somebody wrote on it and thanking us for that. They were glad they came in that night, that they had a difficult day because they had to put their dog down, or something to that effect. That
it was
that's
right.
Depressing day for them, and we cheered them up, and things like that. That
little stuff.
we might not be in that high level, as far as on the higher level ladder and fame and all that, but on a more local level, when you get comments like that you brighten somebody's day.
Yeah,
I feel like
it
a
feels
little
good.
musical doctor.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so we're looking at a blue guitar,
this is my new
and it's very impressive.
birthday gift to myself.
Well, I helped.
Yes, Kat did contribute.
That was my birthday present.
Dineros for this. This is a
Dineros, yeah.
Actually, it's considered a boutique guitar.
Okay.
Prior to this guitar, I was playing a '62 Stratocaster reissue, and had a lot of miles on it. I think I played that guitar with my band and Kat's band and the duo for like 19 years, whatever. And in fact, I had to have a second set of frets put on it because they wore out. And my good friend in Big Rapids, Brian Gallup, I sent the guitar up there, and Brian put new frets in, and he's actually done a lot of guitar work for me. He's an incredible luthier out of Big Rapids, Gallup Guitars. So the Strat was getting a bit heavy, and I was kind of wanted to go to something different. After playing 3 or 4 nights in a row, the weight of that other Stratocaster was a bit heavy. My good friend Bing Burris, who has Tom Anderson guitars, said, "Man, you got to look at this guitar. It's a lot, 3 pounds, 3 ounces lighter than the Strat. It's got the Buzz Feet tuning system on it, and you can really put this guy to work, and it gets a big variety of sounds. A lot of times I'll bring a jazz guitar in the Strat or this Tom Anderson guitar. It's called the Drop Top, but it gets a lot of different tones. So if I need to play a bit more something R&B or jazz, I can get there with it, and it really stays in tune with the Buzz Feet tuning system on it. So
all important factors.
I'm pretty happy. It's got jumbo size frets on it, and it's got a beautiful finish. And so
I like it.
That's my story.
All right. So at one point, you were balancing a career and playing music, and that's not an easy thing to do, because I've tried many jobs, and music always seems to be the thing. But you were successful at your career or day job, and playing music.
Yeah, I think hindsight 2020. My parents really gave very good advice with regard to, okay, you can go to college, but you're not going to go to music. So what's your next move? And so I did. I went into automotive and graduated from college and got a job as a senior account manager worked for Tier 1 suppliers, 3 different ones over the course of 27 years. And it was a good career. And I got to travel, and I called Ford Motor Company. Obviously it was my big account, and my father and my uncle, who came over from Portugal and came to Dearborn with my grandmother, and my grandfather had already been here for a couple of years and shipped him over, but they both worked for Ford Motor Company for 43 years. So
how did you balance playing, working during the day and playing music at night?
Well, by these dark circles under my eyes. It's all about planning, I think.
Well, do you think it was advantageous to, like, you were in sales in some
sales,
respect,
engineering,
so to
program
kind of
management,
say, hey, everybody, come and see, not only take them playing golf, you could say, hey, come and see my band. And that was kind of an advantage with
Yeah, I
clients
think one of
in your
the
situation.
companies hired the whole band for a Christmas party,
Yeah.
and
Me, I had to keep it quiet,
Yeah,
but I think it
well,
really worked to your
yeah, I
advantage.
think even with customers, I think they got to like. I had no idea that there's this other thing that but
Yeah, because you're bringing them in socially, and
yeah,
so I
Yeah.
think that is impressive to
yeah. So
sales clients. So then the other question that I get, and you probably get as well, when you're younger, it's like, okay, when are you going to get a real job, But then when you get older, it's like, okay, so how much longer are you going to be doing this, And when are you going to retire? And what do you think about a question like that when people ask you? And I know they ask you.
Think, I think right. The true answer is you got to keep moving. You got to do something. And when you're retired, you can't just this isn't a hobby and drinking and we see some of those kinds of things when we're playing in Florida. But there's a lot of people that are seniors that are still golfing, or they've got projects, or they're into art, for example, or drawing, painting, whatever.
Exactly.
But, so, anyways, it's good to keep busy, I think. So, and learning new material, I think, is good to keep the mind going. And,
really is. I look at it like people bowl, except we bowl and get paid to do it. It's like that's the hobby we get.
Right.
So-called hobby we get paid to do.
Right.
And so anyway, maybe we can do a song. What do you think about that?
Well, okay. I think
Okay.
we can make that happen. And
All right, you guys, hold tight. There we go.
Lately I've been feeling low, wonder where my friends have gone, thinking that I've done them wrong, restless and undone. Then you sit down next to me, smile the way you smile at me, and suddenly I'm laughing again. It's easy being around you, 'cause you are the only one I need. Yes, you are. Hey, you are the only one I need. Hey, hey. Love is like a traffic light, swinging while on a windy night. You be left to keep it right, so many ways to go. I run straight into your arm, your whisper makes me feel safe and warm. Hold you tight through any storm, irreplaceable, 'cause you are the only one I need. Hey, hey, ah, yeah. You are the only
right. Well, we're back again, and we were talking about all the different things about playing live music and playing guitar. But did I mention? I think I mentioned that you are very well versed in music equipment, and you run the greatest sound. And
Thank you.
I can attest to that
Thank you, honey.
because I get spoiled because I could hear everything when Larry runs sound for the band and the duo. So maybe you can share, just any basic tips about maybe for a newer band or people that have challenges about running sound, just like a couple tips off the top of your
I
head.
think just right out of the gate, you can have the greatest musicians and vocalists and players, but if they're not projecting properly in balance with the sound to the crowd, it's not going to be a great show. And
Exactly.
I think the musicians pick up instinctively on that, and they're not going to perform and play as well. And the technology has certainly changed so much since
Absolutely.
when I first started. Everybody brought a stage amp, so and this is before in-ear monitors were really popular. So we had not only stage amps like a guitar amp, a bass amp, a keyboard amp on stage. You also had 4 or 5 monitors, which were all subject and want to feedback because instinctively a lot of musicians say, I can't hear myself. So they're going to do
Right.
one of two things. They're going to either bring their vocal up on the monitor, have the sound guy do that, which causes feedback, or
Right.
if they don't hear the guitar or whatever, they're going to bring their amp up. So there's this chasing your tail thing that goes on.
Domino effect for sure.
Absolutely.
Volume.
So
Yeah.
over the course of time, even with Hidden Agenda, I said, hey, let's lose the stage monitors. Let's lose the bass amp, the keyboard amp, and the guitar amp, and let the sound engineer do his job as far as being able to mix front of house. And the key to that, obviously, was going to in-ear monitors.
Yeah, we
And-
made the jump to in-ear monitors.
and not just a pair of in-ear
Right.
monitors. We went
some good quality ones, which maybe
yeah,
we can get more into that on another show sometime. But
right.
But that was a big challenge because, especially for bass players, for instance, it's not easy to be accustomed to in-ear monitors and hear and feel in the low
Yeah,
end
it's
for bass, for instance.
yeah, but I've seen guys work around that.
Right.
You
And
know,
meanwhile,
it's a learning curve. There's definitely, and
Yes.
it's an insecurity thing. Oh, gee, I don't have my amp here. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
but meanwhile, for the acoustic instrument like saxophones and anything that's not direct into an amplifier, or for vocalists for that matter, then we're not direct into the board, so we have more of a challenge.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're direct from the standpoint that your sax is mic'd and your vocals mic'd,
well, I'll be maybe getting sound coming through my microphones,
I'll bleed through.
but I will say that in my experience, in-ear monitors and apps to dial in my own
That's right.
sound are
Everybody
the
can mix
best-
their own ears and
best thing ever.
yeah, so that's a good thing.
So.
And so, in fact, you just ordered new in-ear injected molded in-ear
I can't wait to
monitors.
get them.
Yeah, so
And
that's
that's an investment. I consider that
Yeah.
a very smart investment for anybody that's wondering. Maybe we can get into that a little bit more in depth
Sure.
on another show.
Sure.
There's so many things. So about
that's it. So in running sound for the band, you can save the scenes because they're digital mixing boards now. So you can save the scene from that club or wherever you played at previously and
Right.
do a save as or whatever. But and that's worked out great for us, especially with the duo, because we play a lot of different places with the duo, and that really comes in handy. But
Well, thanks for sharing
all right,
all that information, and there's so much more to share. And thanks for joining us here, Larry.
my
It's
pleasure.
Larry Pinho, my husband.
Larry Manuel.
Larry Manuel Pinho. All right, everybody.
See ya.